Hi, I'm Beck. I'm a psychologist. Let's talk about enlightenment. I know a bunch of enlightened people, but I'm not sure if they know they're enlightened. And to be honest, I think most people have had moments of enlightenment where they have been enlightened. And who's to say that you're not already enlightened? You might be enlightened right now. You might not know it. I would think that you would have at least had moments in your life that you could have been considered enlightened in those moments. The more I talk to people, the more I realize this is a state that we have accessed and we do access, and we access it quite regularly. The only mistake or the only misconception about it is that what it tends to do in those moments that you might associate with flow state or in that beautiful state of unity where you absolutely have a deep knowing about your connection with all things, and perhaps you see colors and you see energy and things melt away and you sort of see through that for a moment. And we have all these experiences, or I don't know about you, I would say that you would have had something like this in your life. It looks different for everybody, but if you think about those moments of pure expansiveness, perhaps it's just a feeling of expansiveness. That could be your enlightenment. The only thing that happens is then we do a bounce back, and depending how many other frequencies are sort of operating within our system, when we go to these huge, expansive, beautiful places, sometimes the kickback, the kickback sends us way down here, and then we're going, I'm yelling at my kids and I'm kicking the dog. This isn't enlightenment. Well, no, because now you're here. And then slowly what will happen is, and this is where the discipline lies, through whatever practices work for you. It could be yoga, it could be meditation, it could be life itself. You start to close the gap by cleaning out these frequencies, by feeling them and releasing them, asking what's true, always going into anything with what's true. I'm only interested in clarity. I'm not interested in any of my own games, many of my own illusions. I give all of it up for truth. With always that as your compass point, you start to clean up the gap, and then you can sort of operate around these frequencies. But the hilarious thing is, once you might be operating in those frequencies, you realize that's when the real work starts. It's not like we operate within those frequencies and we can glide through on our beam of light. I don't know. It's almost to the point, I think, where we have to stop striving for enlightenment as a concept or a practice, because it's taking away from actually taking any real action and doing anything that at this point is really quite integral. Because I think once you're operating within that frequency space, which is really just pure presence, you're not operating out of any of your programming or subconscious old stories. You're seeing things as they truly are, and you're thinking, oh, okay, it's time to do something. It's time to take some action. It's time to take some responsibility for my choices and the way I'm living and where I'm putting my energy. And so if you are someone striving for enlightenment and going down this spiritual path, which is beautiful, because really what the spiritual path is that I want clarity. Let's not even call it spiritual, because spiritual has almost been hijacked with a bunch of stuff that's not true. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Take the good bits, but come back to the understanding that you're not necessarily even seeking spirituality. You're seeking truth. You want truth. You want to drop all your own illusions. And if you're on this path, who's to say you aren't already enlightened? and you don't already know what that state of enlightenment is and have it somewhere in you, like a seed of consciousness that has been planted in moments where you've been in pure awe somewhere in nature, where you felt that complete sense of connectedness or expansiveness or just purity of love, where everything has just looked a little different. You've experienced things in a new way. You might have already, I would say you would, if you look through your life, have already had those moments. Okay, great. You've already done it. Now, what are we going to do? What actions are we going to take to, first of all, clear out those channels, which there are many ways to do that. But what you'll find is once you've set your intention to do so, life will give you a bunch of situations that give you a chance to operate differently. And then it's up to you how you then manifest that change. But instead of this sort of faraway goal of enlightenment or whatever it is let's come back to the here and now. Okay, let's say you are already enlightened. If I said to you now, it's done. What would you do? What would you then strive for? Would it be a tangible change in the world? What's your particular change? What's your particular, when we've all got this understanding that we are all connected, you don't have to save the world anymore. It doesn't have to be all on you to do this one change that brings on consciousness, that raises consciousness. You just have to do a tiny bit. That's your bit. It's the bit that you've chosen because you feel passionate about it. You know, somebody can be raising consciousness through conversations like this because that's my skill set and my mastery and where I've chosen to go. A farmer, oh my gosh, the enlightened farmers out there that are the most humble, beautiful beings that are caring for our waterways, that are caring for our bees, that are noticing the cyclical changes of the season, that are so in touch with that. That's their offering. Are you out advocating for natural fibers in clothing because you're really interested in textiles and you are in that world? Fantastic. What is your one area that you can bring change to instead of maybe seeking these avenues of enlightenment and then waiting for the beam of light to come and save us? Be the beam of light in your particular area. Who's to say you're not already there? Now it's time to take action around it. So much pressure's off. Enjoy.